Hey traders, Gates Adams here, the Forex Trader, with another daily P&L report. Try to keep this one a little shorter so I can hit all the platforms. But today was a hard-fought, very small green of about 80 to 90 bucks per account. As you can see, I now have 10 PAs. I passed 5 evaluations yesterday on top of my 5 PAs that I had. So this was day one trading the bottom 5 PAs that you can see have a grand total of about 90 bucks in profit for the day, which is today. And then the other 5, this is day 4, and they're sitting at about between 1770 and 1830, with some variations from the copier, and a couple of accidental entries that I took along the way. So this is kind of what I was talking about yesterday as to why I'm doing this. I don't want to show you guys a day where I just fucking flipped out and just made mistakes that I shouldn't have made. The thing is that that's not always going to be reflected in this, because that's exactly what happened today. Um, I started the day taking one legit entry, ended up taking a small loss, like 40 bucks per account, nothing major. And then I took the reversal from that position, which was a legit trade as well. And had I just left alone, would have had me up about 400 or 500 bucks today. But instead of doing that, the choppiness and variation really made me second guess myself. And I think I may have hit the reverse button like 3 times. All of a sudden, I found myself down over 300 bucks. I really had to just take a minute and pull myself away, realizing that I had sort of given into those urges and those impulses that have caused me problems in the past and have caused me to fail accounts in the past. Now I was faced with a decision: do I just take the L and just suck it up and have a red day? And a $300 red day wouldn't have been the end of the world. It wouldn't have been, I mean, every day I've had so far has been bigger than that just in the last few days, the 4 days that I've been trading these 5 PAs. But I felt like I was pretty well squared away. I had just sort of seen the error of my ways. And so I took a step back and really looked for a re-entry on that reversal, the one that I should have just held on to in the first place. And I was very clear on what I was looking for and just committed to not taking anything that didn't meet that criteria. And I got it. And I'm trading 2 micros on these. This is a relatively small position. And I had a target, which was just a swing point from a few days ago, where I took half of that position off and I let the rest of it run. I was really hoping for that big swing point that was another, I don't know, 100 or so points above that, 120, I think. And I started trailing my stops a little bit more aggressively because now I'm in the money, and I realized that I've made a better decision, and it continued through, and I continued to trail. And after all was said and done, it did sort of retrace, hit that stop loss. I left it as is, and I have to tell you that impulse that actually happened like right here is about where I got out. I think, in fact, this was probably the swing point. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I had my stop here at the bottom of this impulse candle here, and that's where I got out. And I had to fight the temptation to say, oh, well, it's definitely shorting and continuing on. So I did have to fight that. And I survived. I did not continue to take another position. I'm glad I didn't, because, of course, while it did continue down some, where would I have gotten out? It looks like it's coming right back up, and I'd have been at pretty much back to break even at this point. So, and the reality is there's probably a reasonably decent enough chance that at the end of the day, it's going to continue up higher than where it was, and possibly even up towards my ultimate target. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, and I don't care, because at this point, it is my commitment to stop when it's time to stop. And as committed as I've been to that prospect, it hasn't always happened. And with a few mistakes today, I eked out a green. I'm still a little torn on whether or not I should have re-entered that final entry. Really, when it boils down to my keeping in line with my desired results. Hey, I'm glad I did, because it did sort of salvage the day. But the more often that I think about quote unquote salvaging the day, the more likely I am to make some mistakes. So I don't know. That's kind of a tough one to sit with. Um, you've heard me talk about being rewarded for bad behavior. I'm not sure if I can qualify this as being rewarded for bad behavior or not, because that final entry was very calculated. Um, so I'm going to roll with it. I saw my entry, and one of the things that I have been taught is when you see your entry, take it. Don't hesitate. Do what it is that you've been trained to do. So from that standpoint, aside from the fact that it did sort of salvage the day, it was a win. But the flip side is from a risk management standpoint and managing my losses. Had that gone against me, of course, that would have turned into a pretty big down day. So I'm going to have to sit on that one for a little bit and really kind of work through it. But that's where I am today. Clearly, I'm not going to keep this within line for X, so will not be there, but it should be on the rest of the platforms. Uh, and like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that jazz for any additional information. Also, if you are a funded trader and you're working with Apex or you want to, make sure to go use coupon code FORGED. For the next few days, I believe until June 8th, they actually have $100 lifetime PA activations. So any accounts that you pass and activate by June 8th, you get that deep discount on that lifetime PA. Normally quite a bit more than that, even when they have the bigger sales. That's kind of the big one right now. So hope you enjoy, and I'll chat with you guys on the next one. Love y'all.